What's going on, guys? Welcome to my dad's house, Dave Rose. He opened up the doors for us to show you a great Thanksgiving dinner. I got a few tricks that we're going to kind of impart some Mexican flavors that we do at Zocalo. Definitely something you've probably never worked with at home.
No.
He's been making Thanksgiving for the last 30 years of my life, and he's done a great job. This time, I'm going to take over and show him a few of my tricks and see if he'll actually listen to me.
Looking forward to it.
So great. I got a turkey here now. This is just a 12-pound turkey. He's used to cooking like a 20-pound one. This one's a lot better to work with because it's so much smaller. What's great about it is you can actually get two of these things, and then you have you know, the extra leg, the extra thigh, because I'm a total dark meat type of person. But it just gives your guests a little bit more options when they're eating. I've let it sit actually for about an hour outside of the at room temperature. The main reason is because once we sit it in the oven doesn't have to work to get the turkey at the temperature it needs to be at. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Now, you love to put the stuffing in the turkey, is that correct?
Right.
I actually do it the opposite because I like the nice crust that that we'll get out of that stuffing later on. But what I do put in the cavity is some herbs and lemons and oranges. So if you'd like, would you like to cut the orange and lemon in half?
Yeah, you bet.
And then while you're doing that, I'm just gonna season our turkey. Definitely got to get the cavity. I got this thing nice and dry, and then I'm just really gonna season that inside. And once you're finished, I'll take that lemon and orange, and then we got a little bit of garlic. Take an onion. I'm just gonna throw all this thing in here because again, we're just looking for it to steam and impart all its flavors. What do you think about this? It's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I like all the fruit in there.
Yeah, cool. So great. Next thing that we're going to do is truss this thing up. I have one of the simplest trussing techniques you're going to find. You don't have to worry about and stress out about knowing how to tie this bird up. It's super simple. So we'll get this string here, Pop. It's about, I don't know, 6 feet long. It's going to find its neck where his neck used to be. Actually, before that, I'm going to take his wings here. I'm just going to tuck them underneath his body so they all stay here. It's so important to truss, Pop, because you don't want the wings and all these things flailing around because they'll start to cook before the rest of the meat does, and then you're going to have real dry parts. So we're going to grab his neck here. I'm going to come around the breast. And then I'm going to give him his first tie. And then we're going to plump up those breasts by tightening it up here. And they'll pop right up like that. And I'm going to go underneath his legs. Give it a quick spin. And we're going to tie. Now you're the Eagle Scout here, so you want to finish that off? I'm going to go ahead and get some olive oil. And now, so important when you're doing turkey. That's perfect. Yeah, just prop them up. Get them nice and tied. Now all his body parts are all nice and compact. Everything is going to cook at the same time, which will be perfect. Go ahead and snip off the ends when you're finished. While he's doing that, I'm just going to coat our bird with some olive oil. And this is going to help with the browning of its skin. I mean, a perfect turkey to me has just a beautiful brownness. And when you're eating it, it's just so nice and crunchy. And it'll be awesome in our dish. You can see also we have a totally different cutting board. That way we're not, you know, cross-contaminating and all that kind of crazy stuff. So we can still use this one to cut our veg. What do you think so far? Do I know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I was wondering if the Eagle Scout was gonna catch you there for a minute.
Great. I'm actually even gonna take a little butter here, Pop. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I got it softened. And this is gonna leave a beautiful brownness on our bird. So great.
You get all the fun jobs.
Yeah, they're taping this, you know. They make fun of it. All right, go ahead and grab that salt right there, Pop.
Okay.
I'm gonna wash my hands and cover our bird pretty good there.
Okay.
Get them nice and good. I'm gonna go right behind you with the pepper. This is really the last time we're gonna be able to season this thing with salt, so man, make sure you get it because it's a big bird and it's gonna need a lot of salt. Did you get it good?
A little more on top.
All right, cool. Did you get on its legs and stuff?
I did.
At the same time, I'm just gonna take some rosemary and thyme that I chopped up, and I'm just gonna sprinkle it all over here. Now check this out, Pop. Instead of doing like a regular roasting rack, I got some more aromatics going on. So I got carrot, celery, onion, and garlic. The bird's gonna sit on top of that, and while it's cooking, those aromatics are gonna be going in and imparting their flavors into our bird. What do you think of that one? Can't put that one myself.
Do you eat that later too? Serve that as part of the
We're
meal?
not gonna eat that, but we are definitely gonna use its flavor in our gravy.
Oh, okay.
So we got our bird sitting there, breast side up. I cranked on the oven as high as it went. It's sitting at 475. That's gonna help to start that browning that we were talking about with that skin. I'm gonna leave it like that for about 25 minutes. After that, I'm gonna crank it back down to 350 and let it cook. It's probably gonna take about 4 hours. I'll be basting this thing. If I could sit in here and baste all day, I would do it. But I'm telling you, I want brown skin, and that's how we're gonna make it happen.
That's
right?
how I like it too.
Cool. Turkey is in the oven. All we have to do now is basically wait, make sure it's going. In the meantime, you cannot have turkey without gravy, correct?
Absolutely not.
Let's get started on that one. Now, you're gonna go ahead and do this. What do you think about that?
All right, sure.
Start off with some olive oil and some butter. Now guys, Thanksgiving is all about this right here. Carrot, celery, onion, and garlic. You cannot have enough of this because it's gonna go in everything. Your bird, your stuffing, your gravy. Make sure you have enough with a lot of fresh herbs. I love thyme and rosemary. Sage is great, bay leaves is great as well. And that's what we got going on here. So Pop, once you get that butter and olive oil going, go ahead and throw in your some onion. And we're gonna start sweating these things off. Let me grab another pinch. At the same time, now this sounds a little bit weird, guys, but you know the little bag that comes in your turkey with the gizzards, sounds kind of weird, neck and all that? Use that in your gravy because it has turkey flavor and it's gonna add that extra element to your gravy. We're gonna throw that in there as well.
Yep, smells good.
Cool. And we're just gonna let all this stuff brown up, right? So go ahead and let it sit, Pop. Go ahead and throw in your garlic, carrot, and celery, all the rest.
Right now?
Yeah.
I like lots of garlic.
You could have it.
You good?
Yeah, go ahead and throw in some more.
Okay.
Let's be heavy-handed here because all we're gonna do is we just want the flavor, and then we're gonna strain it all out.
Well, we're gonna be heavy-handed on the garlic. Okay.
Now, I obviously work at Zocalo. I gotta make some kind of Mexican twist, right? So what I got going on here is some California chilies. I just boiled them up a little bit, and I'm just gonna throw them in there as well, and let their flavor kind of impart into the gravy. It's gonna give us a nice red color as well. The gravy, it's gonna be really cool.
Those are California chilies.
Yeah, the Californias, mild but have a great earthiness. Crank our heat down just a tad bit. And we just want all this stuff to kind of marry each other and become one great flavor. On the side here, I made a chicken stock.
Okay.
I did that yesterday. I had some extra bones. Again, carrot, celery, onion, and garlic. And just let that boil for a few hours. And that's what we're going to be going. Buy a great stock at the store. That'll help you save some time as well. That is looking so great. Now, I was just telling my dad, it is so important when you're getting some caramelization, some browning going on, not to be touching too much. You don't want to be in there with your spoon too much. And that way that moisture gets out of there, the caramelization starts to happen, and that color is so beautiful. Our gravy is going to have a great amber color, and flavor is going to be off the hook. I'm going to deglaze with a little bit of white wine here, Pop. Okay. Just stir that in. And we're going to let that cook out.
Smells good.
And get that wine flavor going, the alcohol out of it. And then while you're stirring that, I'm going to go ahead and start adding in my flour. Now basically what we're doing here is making a roux, which is putting some flour, which is going to thicken up our sauce and make it a nice consistency, so when we put it, it's that gravy, it's not more like a jus or a juice, you know? So we're going to go ahead and start throwing it in there. And we want to cook the flavor of the flour out, because the flour doesn't really have too much flavor going on.
Right.
We just want it to thicken up. I'm going to do a tad bit more. Keep on stirring that in. Make sure that that flour really gets cooked out of there. Pop, we're at our 20-minute mark on the turkey, so I'm going to go ahead and kick this back to 350 now, all right?
Okay.
And it's going to sit at 350 for the rest of the time.
This is really getting thick.
Yeah, it is, huh? Have you tasted yet?
I I have not.
That is such a major step in cooking. We do not want our guests to be our guinea pigs. So let's go ahead and give that a quick taste. Why don't you take that spoon and see what you think. Right now we're just going to check seasoning. Do we want salt? Do we want pepper? Do we want more herbs?
Could use a little more salt.
Go ahead. Throw it in there. I'm going to even crank it with a little bit of pepper. What do you think? Always got to be tasting throughout our whole dish. Give it one more quick stir. Yeah, it is thickening up. The roux is happening and is looking beautiful. We let it cook for about 2 minutes, so it's time to add in our stock, which you're going to continue to stir while I do this.
All right.
And really all we're doing here now is just finding the consistency that we want for our gravy. Once we find that, we'll let it cook, let those flavors continue to make that gravy just taste perfectly, and then we'll strain it and take it to the table. It's that simple.
Dale, se lo joteñan, voy a